Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome from Brooklyn, New York City, the tenor voice of Alberto Sanchez.
Granada, tierra soñada morir, mi cantar se vuelve gitano cuando es para ti. Y cantar eso de fantasía, mi cantar. Granada, tierra ensangrentada en tarde de toros, mujer que conserva el rumbo de los ojos moros, de sueño rebelde gitana cubierta de flores y besos. Granada, Manuela, cantada en coplas preciosas. No tengo otra cosa que darte que un ramo de rosas de suave fragancia que le llena marco a la piel morena. Granada, las mujeres de sangre de sol. ¡Olé! ¡Así! De rosas de suave fragancia que le llena la marco a la piel. Granada, tu tierra está llena de lindas mujeres de sangre.
Good evening, and welcome to the beautiful Royal Court Theater. I'm aboard the Queen Mary 2. My name is Alberto Sanchez, and I hail from Brooklyn, New York. There's some New Yorkers out there? Yeah, well, everyone is from Brooklyn tonight, so I'm going to show you how we say hello. You say, how you doing? And you reply by saying, how you doing, all right? So let's try, ready? How you doing?
How you doing?
Come on, it's how you doing, all right? Ready? Yeah, there you go. How you doing?
You doing?
All right, I feel much better. I feel like I got homies out here. Anyway, this concert is a personal tribute to three of my favorite tenors. Placido Domingo, hey, Mario Lanza, and the late great Luciano Pavarotti. Oh man, it warms my heart to hear that we got some opera lovers out there. Anyway, little information on Placido Domingo. He was born in Madrid, Spain, well, in Riatro, outside of Madrid, and a lot of people think he was from Mexico City. He actually spent most of his childhood in Mexico City. He moved from Spain at the age of 8, and his family ran a zarzuela company. Now, if you don't know what zarzuela is, it's a Spanish operetta art form. And it's kind of like what the Brits have with Gilbert and Sullivan, but more romantic. So Domingo grew up singing this art form all his life, and he was also a concert pianist and a conductor. At a very early age, he sang for the Mexico City National Opera, and they accepted him on one condition, that he changed from being a baritone to a tenor. Did you know that? Thank God he became a tenor. He became one of the greatest dramatic tenors of our time. If you don't know, there's about 5 different kinds of tenors. You have comprimario, leggero, spinto, dramatic, and Wagnerian, right? So now you know. He was one of the greatest dramatic tenors in my personal opinion. But I love the way he sang these zarzuela songs. So this next song is called Bésame Mucho, and it holds a very special place in my heart because my father and my mother, they've been married for 55 years. They just celebrated their anniversary in July. And my father would constantly sing this song to my mom, at least try. So I'd like to dedicate this song to my parents. So for folks, Bésame Mucho.
Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte después. Pero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en los ojos, me hundir. Piensas que tal vez mañana voy a estar el viejo muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Miedo perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, que tengo miedo perderte después. Que tengo miedo perderte después.
Excuse me for being rude. I need a little water. Well, this next tenor, Mario Lanza. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. I get so excited when people know who Mario Lanza was. Because, first of all, he was an American tenor. And during the 50s, the best tenors in the world were always coming from Europe. So, you know, I was very proud of the fact that he was an American tenor. Mario Lanza broke many barriers. He not only was a great tenor, but he crossed over into popular music. He had a lot of radio hits. He did movies. He was a matinee idol, you know. He did movies like Toast of New Orleans, The Great Caruso. But a lot of people don't know that his real name wasn't Mario Lanza. Anybody know what his real name was? No. Close. But when we went to Hollywood, they said, you got to change your name, kid. It's a horrible name. It's not masculine enough. Alfredo Arnold Cocozza is not masculine enough. So he changed his name to his mother's name. His mother's name was Maria Lanza. And he changed it to Mario, and then you had Mario Lanza. Now you know. Well, He's a fantastic tenor, like I said, and he had a lot of commercial radio hits. And these next 3 songs I'm going to sing in a medley, and they're basically all the commercial hits he had over the radio during the 50s. Some of these might ring a bell. I hope they do. Feel free to clap. Hit it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
See my love for no one else can end this yearning, this need that you and you alone create. Just fill my arms, all the way you fill my dreams, dreams that you inspire with every sweet desire. Dear my love, and with your kisses set me burning. One kiss is all I need to see my face, and hand in hand we'll find lost promised land. There'll be no one but you for me, eternally. If you will be my love, with a song in my heart, I behold your adorable face, just a song at the start, but it soon is a hymn to your praise. When the music swells, I'm touching your hand, it tells that you're standing here. At the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to me? But I always knew I would live right through with a song in my heart for you. Mr. Bradley, when the music swells, I'm touching your hand, it tells that you're standing here. At the sound of your voice, heaven opens its portals to me. Can I help but rejoice that a song such as ours came to me? But I always knew I would live right through with a song in my heart for you. Because you're mine, the brightest star I see looks down my love and envies me. Because you're mine, because you're mine, because you're mine, the breeze that hurries by becomes a melody. And why? Because you're mine, because you're mine. I only know for as long as I may live. I only live for the kiss that you alone give me. And when we kiss, that isn't thunder near, it's only my poor heart you hear, and it's applause. Because you're mine. And
Thank you, thank you. Now, do any of those songs ring bells? Come on, be honest. You honestly recognize some of the songs. You're my kind of audience. So, yeah, Mario Lanza, I mean, to me, we were like, you know, if I had a brother, he would be my brother. I mean, he was from Philadelphia, I'm from Brooklyn. He came from a big family. I come from a big family. He was a good Catholic boy. Most of the time, I'm a good Catholic boy. He was a famous tenor. I'm still working on that one. But I felt like we had a special connection. And this next song that he sang was, he took it from a musical called Carousel. How many people recognize that musical? Carousel, huh? Come on, round of applause. One of my favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals. But you know, funny enough, my favorite production of it was a 1956 movie starring Shirley Jones and Gordon McCree. Who's seen this? Anybody seen this? Come on. If you haven't, download it, because I was going to say rent it, but you can't rent things anymore. Just download it. It's a wonderful, wonderful production of this musical. The song I'm going to sing is called If I Loved You. Now, he took this song and it topped the charts. So it was one of his trademark songs. If I Loved You.
If I loved you, time and again I would try to say all I want you to know. If I loved you, words wouldn't come
So that one rang a bell, didn't it, right? Come on, you can loosen up. Help me out up here. Yeah, right? Okay. You don't have to pay for this show. It's free. So enjoy it. So, The next tenor, il maestro Luciano Pavarotti. Bravo, no? This man was incredible. I believe the greatest tenor of the century, past century. There's nobody great. He was a spinto tenor, a very shimmering tone. And when you heard him sing, it was magical. There was an article that somebody wrote when he made his debut at the Met. They said, God kissed this man's vocal cords. Can you believe that? And I really believe he did it. Because I've never heard a tenor, and I've listened to a lot of tenors, I've never heard a tenor so distinctive in sound. I mean, you don't even have to be an opera lover. The minute you hear his voice, you know it's Pavarotti. Don't you agree? Magical singer. Now these next 4 songs, arias and songs, became staples, trademarks of his great repertoire. This first aria I'm about to say is from the opera Rigoletto. Everybody know that opera? All right, he played the role of the Duke. The Duke was kind of a lady killer. He was a gigolo. He was like, you know, he was not a nice guy. This aria is in Act 1. There's a little story behind this aria. When Verdi was premiering this opera, he hadn't put this aria in Act 1 yet, because back then, music piracy was so rampant. Everyone was stealing each other's melodies and songs and what have you. So he didn't put this aria until 2 days prior of the opening of Rigoletto. So the tenor didn't have the music or the orchestra. So he was so sure that this melody was going to be such a hit. And let me tell you, this is one of the most commercialized opera aria melodies ever. When I start to sing it, you'll go, oh. Hit it.
La donna immobile, qual piuma al vento, muta dal cielo e di pensiero, sempre un amabile, leggiadro viso, indiando riso e menzognero. La donna immobile, qual il vento, sempre misero chi essa fida, chi le confida al caldo cuore, pur mai innocentesi felice a pieno, chi sul quel seno non mi va amore. La donna immobile, qual mi allento, muta cento e di pensier, e di pensier.
Thank you. Now, I'm sure you've heard that particular aria in like commercials for ice cream, potato chips, right? Even you young folks out there, right? Come on, admit it. There you go. I can't see, I'm blinded here. Is there anybody out there? Oh, there are people out there. So this next song, it's a sacred song. And a little bit about Pavarotti. He was born in a small town outside of Modena Italy. You know, Modena, that's where they make the Ferraris. But he didn't come from a wealthy family, you know. His father was a baker. His mother worked at a cigar factory. He had 4 siblings in a 2-bedroom apartment. And his father was the lead tenor in the Catholic Church. So he grew up alongside of his father, learning sacred music, wonderful music. I always thought that was amazing because I have 5 siblings and I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, so I got what he might have been going through. The thing that people don't know about Pavarotti is that he didn't read music. Did you know that? No, he didn't read music. He learned everything by ear, listening to great, you know, singers and tenors like Gigli, Schipa, you know, Tagliavini, all these great Italian tenors. He actually said in an article, he was a big fan of Mario Lanza. So, you know, for a guy who didn't read music, and he didn't even want to be a tenor. Do you know what his secret ambition was? He tried for a long time. He wanted to be a professional goalkeeper. He played soccer. He was very good. He almost succeeded. Thank God he didn't. Because we would have missed out on the greatest tenor in the world. But this next sacred song became a staple in his repertoire. And I'm going to give the band a little bit of a break here. We're going to have our wonderful pianist, Christian St. Pierre from Quebec, play alongside me. And you'll recognize this melody. That reminds me of the good old days because I was involved heavily, like I said, in the Catholic Church. I was an altar boy. I was a choir boy. I've been a toy boy, but that's another story. But I really loved singing in the Catholic Church. I mean, that's how I got exposed. I actually played trumpet, but I also sang masses in Latin and learned all this great sacred repertoire. So I owe them a lot. This next aria, once again, Pavarotti became a staple, trademark of his repertoire. Now, there's a little story behind this aria. First of all, this aria was pretty undiscovered for a long time. And Pavarotti performed it live in 1990 at the FIFA World Cup. And all of a sudden everybody's like, wow, this is the greatest aria ever. It's been around for a long time. It just happened to come from an opera called Turandot, which wasn't very popular. It was one of Puccini's not so popular operas. And this aria is a phenomenal aria. It's the perfect aria. Pavarotti was a smart man. Actually, he got criticized a lot. They say, oh, Pavarotti is commercializing opera. Well, in the 90s, opera needed help because the arts were suffering. So he did a lot of commercial stuff like Three Tenors and Maida, you know, the performance outdoors. He sang duets with Bono, Sarah Brightman, Celine Dion, whoever would do a duet with him. And they're like, oh, the elitists were saying, oh, he's selling out, he's selling out. No, he was helping opera to survive. Because sometimes opera, ballet, and art become things for the elitists, and it's not, it's for everybody. So I encourage everybody out there to go see a ballet, to go see an opera, to buy a ticket, support us. And I think Pavarotti was a pioneer when it came to that. He was a good businessman. But he took this aria, Nessun Dorma, and he sang it at the FIFA World Cup. And he picked this because a little bit of the history about the aria. In the third act, the prince, he's going off to battle the next day. And he can't sleep, and he's saying, Nessun dorma, none shall sleep. And he's envisioning the victory of this great battle in his brain, in his mind. And the last words, he says, Vincerò, vincerò, which means victory, victory. What a perfect aria for the World Cup, right? That's why it's such a fabulous aria. So, I'm giving the band a break here as well. Don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. Without further ado, Nessun dorma. It's a little rocky out there. Actually, I've been drinking, so don't worry about it. So, folks, I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to do this, share what I truly love with the audience members here. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you. I wanna thank some people here, including with the, starting with the Royal Court Theatre Band under the direction of Brad Black. Stand up, Brad. Come on. Thank you, guys. I also want to thank backstage Alan and his crew. Up there on lights, Ed, thank you. And my fabulous sound person, John, thank you so much. You're my hero. Now, this next, my last song, is a Neapolitan song that everyone, once again, affiliates with the great Luciano Pavarotti. I won't even tell you the title because you're going to go, oh yeah, I love that song. Everyone knows he sings this. But it really became a staple. And I want to dedicate it to Luciano Pavarotti because, not only because I love him, and I never got to meet him. I saw him perform once, and he still could sing at 60, I think it was 64, I think he was. He was amazing. I never got to shake his hand and say, thank you for being on this planet, you know. But I'm going to thank him tonight by singing this Neapolitan song, because tomorrow, October 12th, is his birthday. Did you know that? October 12th, 1939, he was born. So, thank you, Il Maestro. Hit it, fellas.
Dopo una tempesta